Thank you for tuning in to Koppen with Comic. I'm Brian Koppen, and we're here with comic Eman Morgan. Eman Morgan, how the hell are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Oh, good. I'm doing great. And it sounds like you are just on tour right now. So where can people see you? And also, where can they check your tour dates? Like, what's your social handle?
Social handle is Eman Morgan.
Okay.
Pretty lucky to get that.
So is that across all, like, that's Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and stuff?
And Facebook,
Okay.
YouTube, everything pretty much.
Okay.
I locked it in early.
Oh, good.
My website, emanmorgan.com.
Oh, good. That helps.
Yeah.
And then you're going to be in all these states. You're touring with a big name act.
Yeah, pretty fortunate, man. I'm
Okay.
opening up for Bassem Youssef.
Yeah, and he's just got tens of millions of followers on all social platforms. It's amazing. So
Yeah.
you've had to kind of adapt your act so that you are, it sounds like he has, a wide age range. And so you've had to kind of like, you probably were doing stand-up comedy, with people of similar ages, but now you have to, make sure the 20-year-old's laughing and the 50-year-old and the 60-year-old's laughing.
Yeah, I mean, when he first saw me, I was in New York City. So he saw me, he saw me at actually Gotham.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, personally as a comic, I really like to just cater to my audience or my kind of like demographic, my age group.
And you're a little bit younger.
And I really did not care to cater my material because I was killing and it was working for me, So why change it if it's working? And but at the same time, I've done colleges where they'll say like clean up your act or change this, and
Right.
Any comic will always change their act for a gig or
Yeah, to get an
exposure.
audience. Yeah, you want the audience to actually hear your jokes, right?
A paycheck. So I think when I started with him, he was like, yo, do whatever you want. And then it was kind of like personally on the inside, I wanted to do better. Because
you wanted to get laughs from everybody in the audience.
Yeah. And for me personally, I'm not comfortable with, 60-70% laughing. I wanted more and more.
Yeah, you want to kill all the time.
You want to kill all the time.
Even if the room is huge.
Yeah. But then in the audience, when you're on stage, you're seeing young people.
Right.
And then you're also seeing old people. I mean, his age group is extremely, big.
Yeah, diverse.
So I didn't want to be stubborn and say, no, well, I'm only going to cater to people of my age and my dem. So it's like, okay, let me try to change things up.
And so how did it change? Did you find yourself scrubbing things from certain
Not necessarily, but you would kind of take out the sexual content. You wouldn't curse as much.
Okay.
You would try to find as many common interests between older folks and younger folks, or you kind of mash things up and put things together. Or
so
you
how
could
did
even,
you do? Did you talk to people in your life who are older to figure out what you guys had in common?
No, not necessarily. But I would just, talk about maybe like household items or household things or the things that I went through that other people do. We almost honestly have gone through almost everything all the same.
Yeah.
I mean, you've had issues when you were young. I had issues. Everyone in the world. And
Maybe you can't
just
talk about grandkids, but you can talk about basically everything else, right?
Yeah, coming back home late, the school, college days, dating, and then you just try to generalize it, and then you just try to make it as unique as possible.
Okay.
And then you bring it all together, you clean it a little bit up, not many fucks, not many go fuck yourselves and stuff like that. And then the response that I got after the shows was like, Jesus Christ, that's it. I mean, you're getting somebody that's 16 years old saying, yo, you were very funny. Wow. And then you have somebody over like 65, 67, shake your hand, you're like, yo, I had a great time tonight, and can we take a picture? But I've never experienced that before. So you're like, okay, I just knocked off how many years of a gap? So that's when I started saying, okay, you know what? I'm going to start doing this on my own.
Yeah.
And he gave me the freedom. He was like, yo, do whatever you want. Make them laugh. Enjoy it. And he's a really, really nice guy.
Oh, cool.
So any comic loves working with a headliner like that.
Right.
But he would tell me, like, just keep your mind open.
Okay.
Always look at other alternatives that you can do instead of just your demographic. But he never forced it on me.
Just keep thinking about your act in a way that
Exactly.
you can expand it if you want to. And now these fans will become your fans.
Exactly.
But it sounds like you're already taking pictures and stuff like that. Like what of yours, like do you, like, because you have such a great act and because you're in front of so many people, like are you feeling like, oh shit, I want to be able to sell a merch, I want to be able to sell on my CD, like what can these people do to make sure they're consuming your product when they love you at that time?
So I
take it home. You got a CD or a shirt?
I have. Oh my God! I have a brand of short ties, and I wear short ties.
I love that. That's in your picture.
Yeah, you saw my pictures.
That, yeah.
So that irritated a lot of people, a lot of comics, a lot of people in the industry.
Why?
But I don't fucking know. Like, I just put this on, man, 11 years ago, and it's been working solid for me.
Do you wear it on stage?
Yeah,
That's
fuck yeah.
amazing.
I mean, I wear it on stage. I have my own brand. I have my own line. I sell it. I get it manufactured. I sell it after shows, and it does very well for me. You'd be surprised how much merch I sell. Sometimes I've outsold headliners that I've opened for previously.
Oh my lord! And where are they wearing it? Is it just like the older people?
They're
Who are like,
just,
oh, this is a good style.
It's just the young. Look, if I work corporate America my whole life, really,
Okay.
and working corporate America, they always kind of teach you. Always think like a consumer.
Yeah.
Would you spend money on this?
Okay.
And I feel like a lot of comics just make cheesy shit and they try to write off their name. Like, oh, I'm such and such. Buy this shirt. And I'm
Right.
like, but nobody's going to buy that. It
Yeah.
looks like shit.
Right.
But
It
if
has
you're-
graphics all over it. But
Yeah.
for you, it's like it's a nice, funny tie that doesn't have your name anywhere on
Right.
it but the back or something.
But I put in like quality and I put in like not too much. I
Right.
don't try to force it down your throat.
Okay.
And I just, started being very creative. And I came up with, short tie concept, and I put on necklaces, I put on T-shirts, and then I started doing shirts recently again, and then that one did really, really well. I started selling 4 weeks ago. And
Do you have a T-shirt with a short tie on it?
No, yes, that one is actually
That's good
being
too,
made
right?
right now, but
Oh, cool.
this was another shirt that I had came up with, and I just really put funny kind of stuff between Arabic and English on it,
Oh, cool.
and it just sold hotcakes. Because
So
again,
even the short tie though, like you do actually sell the short tie, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And have you ever, like, I would think it's a good opportunity for people on social if they film themselves in any situation wearing your short tie, because these kids can be super inventive. It's like, I wore a short tie to school. I thought it was hilarious.
Oh, yeah, I
Like,
have it all over.
Have you put it on? Like, I mean, are you retweeting anybody who's wearing your short tie in real life?
I had a couple athletes. They put it on my social media, my Instagram.
Good.
People, they'll take pictures because it's a necklace, and then they'll just send me a picture.
Ah, okay.
And it's all over. I mean, it did really, really, really well.
So the short tie a necklace or is it a short tie?
It's a short tie necklace.
Okay.
But it's an actual piece of cloth that's actually like a short tie. It's literally all handmade.
How the fuck did you even think about a short tie? Like,
It's funny.
probably a long time ago you had this idea?
This is how it happened, man.
Okay.
This girl and her best friend came to my show. This is like 12 years ago.
Okay.
Literally gave me one of these as a gift. I don't know who she is, what her name is. I have no contact with her whatsoever.
Right.
She was like, hey, I think you're very funny. I got you a gift. And she gives me this short tie, which I still have till today, the original.
And how many years ago was that?
This is 12 years ago.
And so at what point did you think, I'm going to make this part of my act and also sell it as merch?
I started wearing the short tie before that, and that's why she got me this as a gift.
Oh, okay.
So then
Alright.
when she gave me this gift, I used it as the idea for the merch. It took me about 3 months to come up with the concept of the necklace, the dog tag, the material around it, and then I just researched the shit out of it and
Wow.
then got it manufactured, got it made. You have to buy them in bulk, so it was like an investment.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, this is either going to work or it's going to be pretty... I'm bucking up my savings account.
I'm going to have a bunch of short
and
ties.
it was the
yeah.
best decision I ever made. But it's kind of scary because you're dumping all this money
Yeah.
into a product, and you're like, I don't know if this is gonna work or not. Maybe people, because again, a lot of comics liked me when I wore this. I swear to God, you'd be surprised how many comics didn't want to book me
Yeah.
on their lineups or in their rooms or in their clubs.
It's like, no, Eman Morgan. He's going to wear
yeah,
that
it's
fucking
too
tie.
cheap. Who the fuck is this
He's
guy?
gonna wear that tie, man.
It's like, don't worry about that.
Yeah, worry
Am
if
I
it's funny. Yeah, it's not whether or not they can get laid if everybody on the show is hip. It's, is everybody laughing because Eman Morgan is funny?
Exactly.
Okay.
I
But
wear
you
it because I like to, and
Yeah.
it is an attention grab.
Right.
But at the same time, I look good wearing it. I feel comfortable wearing it.
Yeah.
And it's just something that I found that I like. There's a lot of other guys that wear just suits. I don't say shit.
Yeah.
You want to wear a suit. That's what makes you happy.
And initially, I thought it was like, it looked, if you take a glance at it, it looks as if you're doing the thing where you have a full-length tie and you're tucking it in that middle
Yeah.
part. Like, you've seen certain people do that because they're bending over a desk.
Yeah.
And is that how you, how did
I
you
have a
originally...
couple that are like custom made, and then there's a couple that I have to like alternate the back end and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I have a wide range. I've had people buy me short ties. I'm trying to find actually like a name brand that I can
Okay.
actually like, work with.
Get a
But I don't think-
sponsorship deal or
Yeah,
something. Okay.
I'm not there at that level yet that I can hit up like Gucci or fucking even the Gap. I'm not even at Target level.
But so you were corporate America for a while, and that taught you some of these marketing things?
Yeah, I mean, every job, I would just go wherever I can get a paycheck. And every job I've ever worked at, it's always about branding, marketing. How can you stay consistent? How can you get into the consumer's head?
Right.
So I always loved that. And another comic that did that was like Gabriel Iglesias. He always wore Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah.
But he liked it. It's not like he forced himself. So I always thought, I was like, okay, if I can stay consistent with the way I look, it would build a fan base.
Yeah, because, it looks comical. He's consistent with it, and then so now he sells.
And people
he
remember
sells
it by it.
Yeah, and it's also consistent with his character. Whereas your short tie, like, how is it consistent with your persona on stage? Are you talking about?
I never even
things?
address it.
Yeah, but you couldn't be like a happy-go-lucky party guy and wear the tie. Like,
no.
In the same way, he couldn't wear a short tie because his act is about him and his friends being all short. So what's in your act that is consistent with the short tie? It's not about the short tie, but are you talking about anything like about a stitched-up upbringing? Like, what kind of what's making its way into your act that could be consistent with that?
When I get on stage, I don't even act as if, or I even fathom the thought that I'm actually wearing it. It literally just never brings up. I literally would just get on stage and then I'll start talking about the material that I have planned and address the audience, and then you'll get people looking at me, and for a second, if I break that concentration, they know that they're staring at me. Sometimes I've addressed it in the past where I'll get heckled, and then I'll just shut down the heckler and just move on. I never give them a second for them to even talk to me about it, raise their hand. I'll avoid the question as quick as possible.
But if you're not talking about party stuff, because you have a Hawaiian shirt, like, what is your persona? What kind of stuff are you talking about on stage?
Really what I'm going through that week, that month, that year. The dating is obviously like the number one grab for me because I date quite often, and I enjoy it. I like to make it relatable.
Yeah.
I am Middle Eastern, but at the same time, I'm very Americanized. I was born and raised in LA. So I talk about being like Egyptian, Americanized. And I'm not really as, political. I don't even really like to talk about it. It's just not funny to me.
Loud about like dating people of different backgrounds or of like an Egyptian American
because
heritage?
I like to date anybody really. I don't really have a preference. And
do you have parents or relatives who care? Who you end up with? And so
my parents are extremely conservative and extremely strict. And at one point they just gave up on me. They were just like, fuck it. He's going to fucking date 6 girls at one time. He doesn't give a shit.
6 girls at one time. He's going to wear a short-ass tie, and that sounds like you were just killing it. And who are you opening for, and where can they see you? Your show dates are Eman Morgan across all social.
Yeah.
And then you have big dates coming up in California. Yeah. In Texas, too?
Yeah. Brea Improv, and then we're doing 4 shows. We're going to be at Irvine, San Diego, Tampa, Arizona, Dallas, Houston, international dates. It's going to be great. I can't believe it. It's actually, I'm very fortunate. I'm very blessed.
He is single-handedly bringing the short tie back.
Yeah.
Eman Morgan, thank you so much.
My pleasure, man. Thank you.